Leah McSweeney Show. Episode 21 of the Leah McSweeney Show. And my guest today is Aria Hughes. She is the editorial creative director of Complex, formerly of WWD. And like you've had just an amazing kind of like career. Can you just quickly like go into it a little and how you ended up at Complex as the editorial creative director and what that means exactly?
So I always knew I wanted to be a journalist and live in New York. So I went to University of Maryland at College Park, studied journalism, knew that I wanted to work in fashion journalism, moved to New York after I graduated, had an internship at Nylon.
What year was this? Not that I'm trying to figure out how
No,
old you are. I want to know
moved-
when I was doing Mob. Like what?
2009.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so that was like
wow.
the height of Mob.
Yeah, it really was.
And that's when I was introduced to Leah. I don't even know what, I went to a panel and you were speaking on it. And I don't even know where it was or
Wait,
what
was it
was
with
about.
Vashti and like DMX's wife? Because that was a weird one.
I don't think it was.
Wasn't that one? That was at NYU.
I don't think, or maybe it was. All I know, I only remember you, I'll be honest, because I was just like, who is this girl? I was entranced. I was like, she's so interesting. And then I started learning about Mob more.
Yeah.
And then I started reading the blog.
Oh my God, were
And I
you
thought
reading the Mob blog?
I would read Tabitha's her Friday night, or the blog that went up on Fridays.
Yes.
Religiously.
Yes.
I thought it was so well written. I would read the blog.
For anyone that doesn't know, because I feel like a lot of my listeners are like newer people who like know me from like Roni or whatever, but of course they know Married to the Mob. But I had a blog. I mean, this was in the days of the blogs.
Yes.
And Tabitha McGurr, who is like an old friend, she's like a little sister to me. She worked for Mob and she's an amazing, amazing writer. And we had a blog that she would write and it became kind of a cult. Like people were reading it from all over the world, you know?
I loved her blog.
Yeah.
And I love the site in general. I just thought she always had really great reference images. It was just fun. And I've always been obsessed with all things New York.
Yeah.
So that was like another entry point for me.
Because it was like a window into
for sure
a New York girl's life, right?
Like a downtown girl,
cool
working,
girl. Yeah.
running a business, raising a child, and like this really cool crew. So I was like fascinated. But anyways, and then eventually I got a job at a company called WGSN, which is a trend forecasting service. Then I hopped to WWD covering men's.
Remember that.
And that's when I think we had our real introduction because I did this story about women in streetwear.
Yes.
And it had that illustration of like you from the back and like entering with a room full of men.
Oh my God, that was such a freaking good one.
Wasn't that a good illustration?
That was a great illustration.
Yeah. And then I went over to Complex to be the deputy style editor.
Okay.
And then this position opened up. And at first I was like, no, not interested. But I was just at a point where I was like, let me do it before I have a boss I don't like. So I just went for it. And yeah, now I've been in the position for like a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Is Mark Echo still...
He's not involved.
Okay.
I wish he was.
I know.
He's like
amazing.
an icon.
He is an icon.
Yeah, he's an icon.
He's a hot icon.
I know. You've always had a crush on him, right?
I mean, how could you not? He's like so cute. He's like super paid.
He's also very smart, which is like
so
the
smart. He has
on.
great taste. Yeah. He's into the same things I'm into. Yeah. I mean, holler. Just kidding. No. I'm not. He's married. I don't know if he is anymore.
Okay.
But he, you know, we had a couple conversations where he was very helpful and like introduced me to some people when I was going through it with Married to the Mob.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, I don't want to say the godfather of like streetwear, but he's been doing it for so long.
For sure.
For so long.
Yeah, and he's a visionary. So yeah, I've been wanting to have a conversation with him, but it just hasn't happened.
Do it.
I know.
Tell him I said hi.
I will. But yeah, I'm at Complex, just trying to make cool things happen.
You are making cool things happen.
Thank you, Leah.
Where do we think? It's funny because I haven't really talked about like streetwear or fashion much on the podcast, except for with Bobby. Hundreds came on. I watched
a little bit of that episode,
and that was fun. Yeah. And we talked about how he made that shirt that said Pharrell can't skate.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Do you remember that?
I
shirt?
don't remember that.
Okay.
But what a full circle moment!
That was like a big like moment like in streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think I mean, you like cover streetwear. Like, what is happening with streetwear right now? Where is? I don't know anything anymore about any. I swear to God, I don't. Like, I'm not cool at all.
Yeah.
My daughter's cool. I learn things from her.
Yeah. It's in a weird spot. Some people have called it like purgatory, where it's
Ooh.
just kind of like no one really knows where to go. And I think some of that has to do with Virgil. Yeah. Him being like,
he was everyone's North
yeah,
Star, and like he shaped the way streetwear was going.
Yeah.
Right? Like the future of it.
mhm,
And it is kind of like, well, without him, how do we know where to go?
right. Yeah.
And like Pharrell stepping in,
mhm, mhm.
that's great for Louis Vuitton, but Virgil was so much more than Louis Vuitton for so
Yes.
many other people.
Yes.
Maybe to some people, they only really knew him through that
Yeah.
and like high fashion, whatever. But like for the streetwear world and like that community, he was much more than Louis Vuitton, right?
Yeah. And he was also so tapped in. And I think he felt like a personal responsibility to help everybody.
Well, that was clear after
Yeah.
he passed away, and
Yeah.
everyone was kind of putting out their text messages
Mhm.
between him. I was like, wow, I'm not special. He texted everyone back so quickly. But that
Yes.
just shows like this
Yeah.
man who was like fighting for his life,
Mhm,
still running multiple companies,
mhm.
was also trying to help everyone with their career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely I don't know him personally. We met at a dinner once. But I never got to interview him
That's
or
a
have,
bummer.
I know, an extensive conversation. But yeah, especially after he passed, it feels like he was selfless in a lot of ways, which obviously has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are trying to figure out where to go next. And where that is, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't either.
How do you
Because
feel
I'm not-
about it?
I feel like there's a few brands that I like Pleasures. I like this brand Praying. Have you seen their stuff? But it's very like it's not like antisocial social club, but it's like that emo nihilistic kind of. I feel like streetwear is in this like nihilistic, like you're saying purgatory, right? But isn't that because we're kind of in a nihilistic like time? We had just lived through a fucking like global pandemic.
Yeah.
Like our country's fucked on so many levels. The world is fucked on so many levels. And I don't know. I mean, maybe we're supposed to be more hopeful, but I feel like younger people, like what our 9/11 was, the pandemic was for them.
Yeah.
And I know for me, after 9/11, I was very nihilistic. Like I was like, the towers are gone. We're never seeing that fucking skyline. There's thousands of dead bodies that are fucking like crushed into the cement.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of people in our city are now directly affected and have lost loved ones.
Yeah.
And like nothing's ever going to be the same. So I feel like younger people who are starting brands, well, what kind of perspective do they have right now?
Yeah.
It's not fucking happy go lucky. Like, it's like fuck the world.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, just wanting to kind of like,
And also, what stores are there right now?
well, that's a big issue, I feel like, especially in New York.
There's nowhere to. Opening ceremony was always my go-to.
Yeah.
Dover Street Market's too far away. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not going all the way up there. Like,
It is out of the way.
Why couldn't they have opened up below 14th Street and not all the way on the east side? I'm sorry. It's just so out of the fucking way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Weird. A beautiful building,
Mhm.
beautiful store,
Mhm.
weird location.
Mhm.
Very
Mhm.
weird location. I just don't know. There's no Colette in Paris. There's no.
Mhm.
Where do you shop? Like where do people shop? My daughter shops on it's all used secondhand stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I feel like, does she go to any of the little shops in Lower East Side? There's so many like vintage.
Yeah, she does all the vintage stuff. Like
Yeah.
she won't buy anything new. Like I came home yesterday and there's these like clog Birkenstocks.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, these are, cool. Where'd you get these? And she's like, oh, I bought them off my friend for $20, but they're fake. I'm like, and she's like, you just have to get some crazy glue to put the buckle back on. I'm like, I just would rather go buy some real Birks that like feel
Yeah.
good on my feet. And thank you for saving me like $80, I guess. I'll wear them sometimes. But yeah,
Right.
she likes buying secondhand stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing that much.
Well, you go to what's it called? You
What?
wear vintage for shoots.
Yeah, I did like vintage stuff, but more like secondhand, like
I
Chanel,
see.
right?
Got it,
Or
got it,
something
got
like
it,
that.
got
Like
it, got
she's
it.
buying like $2 Ed
Right.
Hardy
Yes.
hats.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're definitely, I mean, with like Grilled and StockX and
Right.
all of that, it's just training them to buy secondhand, which could be a good thing.
Yeah, it could be. My friend just sent me like a $900 vintage Delight t-shirt. Beautiful. Not buying it though.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you gonna buy
and
it?
I'm not buying a $900 t-shirt. I have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Where do you think music is in terms of relating to streetwear?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like,
Well,
because look what Ice Spice is wearing, right?
yeah,
Also.
yeah, and I love how. Okay, so Marissa Pelly is her stylist,
Yes.
who's like putting her in a lot of like New York centric stuff
Mhm.
because she's also from New York. I love how she dressed her because it felt very
Me
like
too.
true to who she was,
Yes.
but still a little elevated.
Yep.
And like it's like this young girl who was used to wearing cutoffs and Air Force Ones and a tube top, similar to you.
Yeah.
and then now she's like learning about designers
Yep.
and getting her like Louis Vuitton Murakami bag, and it's just
So cute.
It's fun to watch. It's like celebrity has kind of taken over everything
I know.
in a lot of ways, and
Do you like Ice Spice?
I love her.
I love her too.
I love her.
I was
And
just listening to her like on the way here. I'm like, is it like weird how much I love her? I'm like, I really love her.
I mean, I could easily see her in a mob campaign. Like she's
100%. She's
a
made
mob
for
girl.
She's a mob girl.
She's a mob girl.
She's
through
a
and
fucking
through.
mob girl through. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw her at Gov Ball,
Okay.
and I mean, she's just everything.
Yeah, and there's so much hate towards her. I guess that's typical.
Of course there is.
Yeah, but-
she's like a fly fucking girl
Yeah.
who's like saying like eat my pussy,
Right.
like you're a munch.
Right.
Like of course, like like your girl is a bum to me, you know, like
Right.
she's when a woman is owning her sexuality like
Yeah.
that, we see it time and time again that people like do not like it. How do you think they're hating on her with performance skills or what?
Yeah, I think they like take a lot of agency away from her.
Mm.
Well, for one, you could tell she works very hard. So
Absolutely.
that's that. And I always respect someone who works hard.
Yeah.
But secondly, I think she's way more talented than people give her credit for.
Yeah. Are they trying to say that her producer is like doing? I mean, they always do this with women. It's like
I just
crazy.
think they just try to say she's a passing fad and she's not that great and she's not that great of a rapper and da da da. But I just feel like for one, a lot of these artists come out and they're sampling songs, so they don't have an original sound.
Right.
I feel like she's developed an original sound with her producer Riot,
Mhm.
which to me, it's a sound that people like and
Yeah.
gravitate towards. That's a
Yep.
huge win. And then I also just think she's consistent. Like she's consistently dropping songs that people like
Yeah.
and want to hear. I went to see Barbie, and at the end
yeah.
of Barbie,
Mhm.
and I went in Harlem, and the Barbie girl song played. For one, it sounded amazing in the theater, but all the little girls were rapping the song.
That's
And
so
they're like, "I'm
great.
bad like the Barbie," and I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, I think she's super talented, and I think she's gonna be here longer than people think.
I think she is too.
Yeah.
Where's Cardi?
It seems like she's just dropping her features.
Yeah.
And those are doing really well. I think she is working on an album. I'd love another Cardi album.
Me too.
I love Cardi.
There isn't really a female rapper that I don't love
Really?
because I honestly, and I don't know if it's because like, well, okay,
Well, how do you feel about Nicki?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. Let me be really honest. I don't want like the Barbs or whatever they're called coming for me, okay? But she's probably my least favorite,
Okay.
Nicki Minaj, and
Yeah.
not because of her music or what. It's the Lil Kim beef, of course.
Oh yes, you're a Little Kim loyalist.
I am a Lil Kim loyalist, like
Yes.
for life,
Yes.
forever. And, but then I also am like, maybe, there's been like the ways that she's like talked to fans and the way
Yeah.
that she's treated people. But it's also like, maybe she had to do that.
Mhm.
Like, maybe, like, I don't know what it's like to be in her position and,
Mhm.
like, probably have to deal with so much bullshit all the
Mhm.
time, you
Mhm.
know? And I watched a clip of her recently where I was like, okay, I think I understand her a little bit more. And she was
Mm.
talking to Joe Budden
Okay. Oh yeah.
and what's his name? And she was yelling at him, I think. And I can't
Yes.
remember what exactly it was about.
And
Rory
yeah, she like cussed him out because he
was making fun of.
well, he tried to imply that she said that she never did drugs. Didn't
Oh,
she say wasn't that it? And she
I
was
thought it
like
was. I thought it was. No, you're probably right because maybe I'm
she
not remembering.
cuz yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was something like she was saying like something like he was making fun of a mental health thing and then she went off on him, but I could be totally
Okay.
wrong. But
Yeah.
in that moment, whatever it was, I was like, "Oh, I'm on her side completely."
Yeah. So you were talking about that New York rap list that we did.
Yes.
And, you know, while I know that the world is sexist and a lot of men are misogynistic, for some reason that list and the commentary around it,
Oh, what was the commentary?
you know, people were mad that Jay-Z was number 1 and not Nas. But which I don't care
Well,
about.
people are of
Like,
course going to be like people have their
yes, they have their
favorites and
favorites.
whatever.
But a lot of the stuff, I don't know. I felt like I was really honing in on like what they were saying about women, and obviously Ice Spice was number 50 on the list, and they had such a problem with
No, I
that.
thought that was powerful though. It's better than being number 47 because
Right.
it's 50. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that the number 50 and the
Right.
number 1
Right.
and not the in the middle
Yeah.
like kind of.
Yes.
So, and also she just started like
And her
last
trajectory has
year.
been so quick, and she's had a lot of impact
Right.
in a short amount of time. More impact than a lot of people on that list, some of them who are higher than her.
Oh, of course.
So, but it's just like with men, I realized just the way they were responding to the placement of the women on the list. And it's like, just because it's like, it's not made for you, so you don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not made to stroke your ego, so you don't
Right.
like it and you think
Yeah.
it's invalid. And I'm just like, if I'm noticing this from an observational level, from tweets and
Right.
comments and
Right.
stuff like that, I can only imagine what it feels like being a woman representing this in that industry.
Right. So meaning what Nikki has to
Yes.
fucking deal with.
Nikki,
Exactly.
yeah, like on
All of
a
them.
daily basis. And I mean, I've posted before, like that clip Nikki did years ago. It was like an MTV special documentary where she was like, it was about pickle juice. And she was like, if I accepted the pickle juice, they'd be giving me pickle juice. And she talked about like the balance of like having to be sexy, having to be cute, having to be
Right.
nice,
Right.
and not being a bitch. And she's like,
It's
I'm
crazy.
tired. I can't do all of that.
I love that.
So I do have a lot of empathy for her. I get why people feel the way they do. But
Right.
I just think she's like insanely talented.
She is.
So entertaining.
Yep.
Like if someone needs a show, it's her.
Totally.
God, I could watch her all day,
Yeah.
to be honest. But yeah, I wish her well. But yeah, seems like she's working on new music.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Lil Kim, well,
Oh my God.
right. Well, we love her.
She's just her book's coming out soon.
I know. And Kathy Ionsley
Yes.
wrote it.
I can't wait to read it.
Me too.
I'm ready for her press run.
I'm ready for her to come on the show.
Yes, Little Kim, come, please.
I got
wanna
to
see
sit next
that.
to her at the Christian Siriano show like
Oh,
a couple years
really?
ago.
Okay.
And it was just like, I don't need to go to Fashion Week ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I, unless I'm going to sit next to Little Kim?
For sure.
Why do I need to go anywhere else? I'm done.
I wrote her blurb for the Hip Hop 50th, and whenever I do that, I just look at old footage and she's just such a force.
She really,
such a star,
yep.
and didn't have to try hard.
No, not at all.
Like at all.
And I really feel like she was one of the first like women. Well, it was her and Misa Hilton, of course,
Yes.
but like in terms of like mixing like high and low,
Yes.
they were doing that first. Like anyone,
Yes.
like I learned that from them. And like, you know, like
Yes.
everyone learned it from them, even if they
Yes.
didn't know that it was like Misa Hilton like helping like Little Kim dress like that. I remember seeing Foxy Brown wearing like a chinchilla fur coat with Air Force Ones. And I was like, that needs to be me one day.
Oh my gosh. Like that's I mean, I think the fashion industry still hasn't given Kim her just due.
Yeah.
And I think rap as a whole, they should be thankful because she definitely was one of the first connectors with luxury
Yeah.
and hip hop. And I think a lot of times people give that distinction to Kanye, but no, it was Kim.
Oh, that's ridiculous. No,
Yeah.
no. Oh, speaking, what, and Kanye, I don't know what's well, he's been
He seems
barefoot.
happy with
He
his
seems
new
with
wife.
Bianca.
Yeah.
She's hot.
She's
I mean,
hot.
she's beautiful.
She is beautiful, and she just doesn't look plastic.
No, I know. I love it. It's
She
so
just doesn't look
refreshing.
plastic, which is like, so she also seems like she's very sweet.
She seems cool. She's wearing she's wearing stockings. Like she's wearing hosiery.
Exactly.
They're barefoot in Italy. I'm not sure what's going on with the barefoot thing. I feel like there has to be a deeper meaning though.
I think
like
he's trying to make a statement.
I think it's like, maybe what if it's like a health thing? Like if I walk on this dirty floor, I'm gonna be so my immune system is gonna be so strong.
You think that's what it is?
I don't know.
I think it has to do with like Adidas, Nike.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I feel like you're like his immune system. I think it has to do with him trying to rebel. I don't know, make a statement that like nobody owns me. Yeah. No footwear brand owns me, and hopefully he starts his own footwear brand.
Yeah, and look, I mean, of course, like as a Jew and as like a Jew, I mean, I'm a convert, but as a Jew, it was like very upsetting, obviously, but also as someone who like obviously like having mental health issues is like never a reason to like be racist or anti-Semitic or blah, blah, blah. And I have to like, I obviously like say that right away or people are gonna be like, meh. Yeah. But I can't like write off all the things he's done like in terms of like for music and fashion and like culture, because he's like, I personally think that this is part of like a mental health crisis. For and like people that suffer from different mental health issues can have like persecutory kind of like delusions where they think like a specific kind of people or person are after them. And like hopefully he gets better and is like, okay, like my Jewish doctor wasn't trying to kill me and my Jewish lawyer wasn't trying to fuck me out of money, because Kanye, and oh my God, the Kanye documentary.
Oh yeah, genius.
Ooh, wow.
An emotional roller coaster. So when you watch that, you're like, I'm watching this. Imagine being in the thick of it as him. Yeah. Like, did you see there's this new Kanye Kim divorce special?
I didn't watch it, but I saw it. It's like on Hulu or something.
It's on Max.
On Max. Right. Max. That's right. Max.
I watched the Kanye side. It was pretty well done, but it basically talked about, it said what we all know, which is like the death of his mom. Oh, yeah. Kind of that was like pushed him also to be with Kim and think that the Kardashians were kind of like this protection and armor and family. And
like a bunch of matriarchs, right? And he was like missing a matriarch from his life.
And it seems like when his mom passed, he didn't have a partner at that time. Like he didn't have a girlfriend. But
remember he had Alexis.
But was she around when the mom?
Yes, she was. Yes, because I had a friend who was at a dinner.
Can I just say Alexis is so gorgeous.
She is.
I love looking at old pictures of Kanye and Alexis, but even now she's absolutely stunning.
I love looking at old pictures of Kanye and Amber Rose.
Yes, they were. That was iconic.
Oh my God,
that was
when
iconic.
She was wearing the orange thong, like it was like a little floss, like
her body.
Like, oh my God,
Lord.
wow,
yeah,
hot,
very hot,
so
very
hot.
That was such a moment.
It really was. He's given us so much.
Yes,
he really has.
Are you a Julia Fox fan?
Oh yeah, I've known Julia for a long time.
Yeah, y'all are like downtown friends.
Yeah,
she's grown on me.
Oh, good.
She has.
Yeah, how can she not? I mean, she's also so entertaining, and everything that comes out of her mouth sounds so smart, and it's like makes sense. And even when it sounds kooky, it's still like smart and entertaining. You know what I mean?
She's also real.
She is real,
which I think is just like refreshing amidst. Which you start to see why Kanye was probably initially attracted to her.
Oh, of course.
Just like unvarnished, very opposite of Kim.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about what the public thinks.
No, it's the opposite.
Exactly. She's just like, fuck. I'm here. This is who I am.
I would, of course, love to know the real, like, I want to know, like, who, like, how the connection happened. Like, I want to know everything. And I don't know if she might have talked about it. And I'm not sure.
I can't recall. I feel like she did talk about it, but that was a moment too.
Yeah.
We were going crazy I just remember on social and Instagram, just eating up pictures of them. Because where they go to that restaurant, they had a shoot. when they first got together?
Well, they did the shoot for like Interview
Yes.
magazine. He had all the Balenciaga
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
But my favorite like Julia Fox moment was definitely when she went, I don't know what event it was, but she was wearing the dress with the hand around her neck.
Yeah.
Her eyes were bloodshot red.
Yeah.
And she was talking about her book, which is coming out, I think, in October.
is it?
She has a book coming out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
But like showing up to an event with bloodshot eyes, I was almost like, did you put stuff in your eyes to make them red just to fuck with everyone? Or did you really smoke a blunt before you came here? Because I'm not sure which one it is, but they're both like really smart.
Yeah. She's grown on me. She's entertaining. She's refreshing.
Yeah, because look at the people that we like have that are like J-Lo.
There you go. So everybody now knows me as the girl that doesn't or critiques J-Lo. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, you're okay. And everyone that's listening or watching, go follow Aria on Instagram. What is it? Your IG?
It's my first name, Aria Hughes.
Okay. And your Instagram stories are the best because you keep it fucking real. Also, and we will get into the J-Lo Beyonce, and you're a Beyonce loyalist.
I'm a Beyonce fan.
Like for like no matter what.
I mean, I can understand why anyone. I mean, everybody's up for critique.
I know, but Beyonce isn't. It seems like to me.
To me, I don't know her personally, but I'm just like, what problem could you have with her?
Right. Well, I think that's the problem. It's like where there are no problems. Like, where is the imperfection?
And that pisses people off.
Right. And also, she's very controlling of her image.
She is.
Extremely. But maybe on like the flip side, it's like, I don't blame her because it's like she wants to have ownership of herself.
Yes. And I think sometimes people, and I realized this for the first time with the Grammys, and she didn't win Album of the Year. And I was looking at like the Black women who have won it, and it was like Whitney Houston, Natalie Cole, Lauryn Hill. And like these were tortured women. And I hope Lauryn Hill's doing better.
Me too.
And I know she just performed at the Yankee show, but she's a genius.
She
but
really
clearly
is.
the music industry like did a number on her. Same with Whitney, same with Natalie Cole. So when I think about Beyonce in the context of like other Black women performers who like were at the mercy of this industry that pretty much gave them their ass to kiss.
Yeah.
I'm like, do whatever you want to do.
Do whatever you need to do. Exactly.
Whatever.
And to go back to the Jay-Z being number one and then Nas being
he was like number 3.
Third. Right. The thing is, and yes, I prefer listening to Nas over Jay-Z, but what Jay-Z has done, and I don't love like the Basquiat like obsession. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like Jay-Z in like a new era hat. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
we all love that Jay-Z.
Yeah, we love that Jay-Z.
Yes, we love that Jay-Z.
But what he's been able to like do with his music career and turn it into now he owns a Basquiat, you know what I mean? And is doing the Tiffany's ads and and is married to Beyonce. It's kind of like, well, you need like that's why he's number one.
Yeah. I mean, he's just I'm a Jay-Z fan too.
Yeah.
And just what he's accomplished is kind of
he
crazy.
Probably has many more albums than Nas too. No, a lot more recent ones for sure.
And more like impactful ones, I think.
Yeah,
but that's just true. Me. I'm a Jay-Z fan. I love Nas too. Nas is amazing. But
Nas is the underdog though.
Yes.
Nas is the underdog. And people like the underdog sometimes.
For sure.
Right?
And he's brilliant as well.
He is.
But yeah, I just think what Jay-Z's accomplished.
And he's Beyonce's husband.
Yes, that is also. And also just I don't know the inner workings of their situation, but I know it takes a strong man to be with someone like Beyonce.
Interesting.
Because she's adored by so many people.
Right.
And I think if you had like a frail ego, I don't know if you'd be able to handle that.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Like even no matter how much, like Nas could never probably deal with No, he couldn't.
I don't think so.
Wait, you're laughing over there, honey. Nas couldn't deal with Beyonce. Nas wouldn't be able to handle having a Beyonce wife.
No.
He could handle Khalees.
Oh gosh,
it's true.
Yes,
and
it's true.
By the way, when he did the album where he's holding her wedding dress, I like cried at the one of the songs about their breakup. I can't remember which song it was, but I was like, oh, and it's like
Bye Baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, Bye Baby.
Yes.
Oh. And also like, but like his relationship with Amy Winehouse.
So
Like,
what was that?
I don't know.
Didn't
but like
she just like him?
they had a thing, and she talks about it in one of her songs. Well, she loved good music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rip
Yeah.
Amy Winehouse. What a talent. Gone too soon.
I know. But I see things like that. And granted, it's just like there's so many artists and celebrities who are tortured, who are like,
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about I actually keeps popping up on my algorithm, but it's like Whitney and Bobby's show on a network we all know.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
when I think in hindsight, I mean, even watching it, I guess that was like in early 2000s or something when
Yeah.
it came out, and I was like glued to it. I
Yeah.
mean, who wasn't?
Everyone was.
They're high on coke.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting wasted.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like you're there with them, and they're like acting as if there's no cameras around. Like they are
Right.
legit acting like there's no cameras around, and it's wild.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my God, we were watching two people in the throes of their addiction killing themselves slowly.
Mhm.
Their child probably, who's now also died of a
Mhm.
drug addiction, which they're calling it substance use disorder now, which I
Really?
don't care about calling it. I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, whatever, but
Mhm.
I don't care about. But I guess to try to break the stigma of like,
Mhm.
it's like alcohol use disorder and substance use
Mm.
disorder. But anyway, regardless, we're watching a family like implode.
Yeah.
And obviously she was in so much pain, and so was he, and so is the daughter, and so is the whole family,
Yeah.
and we're just watching it, and people are posting it on Instagram, still clips like, oh my God, look how funny they were. They are high on cocaine
Yeah.
right now and
Yeah.
going to die. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah. So it's like I look at things like that because I'm like, what even drove them to do that show? But it's like,
Because she wanted to give him, like how you were saying about the ego thing.
oh,
I think because it was called being Bobby Brown.
oh, that's right.
And she was very much so. She wanted
Yeah.
him to feel like the man, and she was the adored one, and she was the super
Right.
famous, more obviously iconic one. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's an icon in his own way, but she's Whitney fucking Houston.
Yeah.
So how do you marry Whitney fucking Houston
Right.
and not be Mr. Whitney Houston? And so she wanted to give him, I think, this show,
Got it. But
even though we're
yeah,
watching it for her.
everything's up for everyone's consumption. Nobody really cares how you're doing a lot of the times. Like when I'm talking about like the celebrity viewer dynamic. And so
Yep.
that's why I want to hear from Beyonce more. I want to have a conversation with her. But like
Right.
I want her to talk about her work, but I'm also understanding like she can give us what she wants. Like these people will take. She should be able to give whatever she wants. Not
Yeah.
everything is up for consumption. But I want to ask your opinion about Britney because I know you're a big Britney
I am.
fan.
Yeah.
And I'm a big Britney fan too. I love her. But like what do you think is going on?
Yeah. So I think I'm glad that you brought this up. I mean, I think that she's dealing with serious, mental health
Mhm.
issues. And I still think that having a conservatorship is an overreach of
Mhm.
someone's like dignity. And
Mhm.
like, if she wants to not take her medication, or if she wants to blow her money, or if she wants to do whatever, she should be able to.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's in anyone's like, I don't think it's anybody's right to be able to control someone like that, even if you think it's for their best.
Mhm.
And it seemed like the conservatorship was an overreach and totally not just whatsoever. But I don't think that, like, I think the Free Britney Spears movement was important.
Mhm.
I don't know if she's ever going to truly be free.
Yeah.
Because she's dealing, but maybe I'm wrong, and she's just like being herself and
This
dancing
isn't the same
constantly.
Britney though.
This
is not the same Britney.
It's not. But did we like what? I'm not the same as I was. Do you know what I mean? Like we're always changing.
But something seems vacant in the eyes.
Something is definitely
something
off, yeah.
seems vacant.
I know.
In
I keep
the
trying
eyes.
to like.
And it's just like
I think she was really like. I also think this about Kanye too. Like people, the like sensitive, like not every single soul can deal
yes
with the level of fame
Mhm.
and the level of like success
Mhm.
and wealth
Yeah.
and all of the devil shit that like comes with having that.
Mhm.
Like not everyone is a Kardashian
Right.
and like just can be as famous as and
Mhm.
just the most famous person and like loves it and
Yeah.
handles it great and like God, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's not for everyone. And I feel
Yeah.
like it had very negative impacts on Kanye and on Britney Spears too. And it's really crazy because these are people who obviously have the access to the
Mhm.
best mental health
Mhm.
care
Mhm.
ever,
Mhm.
anything they want.
Yeah.
And it's not enough.
Yeah. It's sad.
It's
It's
horrible.
really
And I really
sad.
hope that like she's like okay. I hope that she's, I did someone who is close with her told me that she's like the most sane crazy person. Like
Okay.
she's just like kind of doing her own thing, but I don't know if I believe that. Like I'm
Mhm.
just kind of like and I hate to use the word crazy, but like
Mhm.
I'm putting that in air quotes.
Yeah.
It's like who knows? Like I feel like she's also kind of like probably sick of the like maybe Beyonce would have fallen apart too if she wasn't able to protect herself so
Exactly.
much,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And maybe there was nobody protecting Britney or
That's what it seems like. I feel like that's what it seems like. It feels like there's a lot of people on the payroll
Yep.
and they kind of cared about her as a commodity, but they didn't care about her health and her mental health.
Yeah, I mean, this is all you need to know is like if she has a conservatorship, she's not well enough
Right.
to drive. She's not
Yeah.
well enough to take out money and like buy something that she wants to buy. How is she like have a Vegas residency and is
Yeah.
well enough to be performing like,
That's such a good point.
every day for 6
Yeah,
months or
yeah.
whatever, the most taxing,
Mhm.
grueling, like what?
Yeah, that's a great point.
And I saw her in Vegas a few times, and one of the times she was definitely very heavily medicated, and you could tell, and then like the other time she wasn't as medicated. It's really sad. It's her story's not over yet. I hope the story has a happy ending.
I do too.
I really do.
I do too.
But that documentary that came out, the first one, like there was 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
And it really showed how abused she was by Diane Sawyer and
oh my gosh.
oh my god.
And we looked at it like it was nothing.
I know.
Back then, I mean, I was young, but we
Same.
looked at it like it was
This is normal.
nothing.
It
Like
was normal.
yeah, it's the questions they would ask her.
Oh my god, I know.
Carson Daly. Well, anyways,
I know. And when she had her kids and like she was just being followed by the paparazzi.
What's
and
his name? Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer. Sexual
was that the
predator.
One where, exactly.
That's
was that
the
one
one
where she was she was like chewing gum.
I think
and
so.
like she just looked exasperated. And she was just like,
I know, it's like someone don't let her even get interviewed. Like let her
why
just
is
be,
she being
yeah, like
interviewed?
keep her private.
Yeah, it did feel like there was just no true protection for her, which is terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, Britney, we love you. I know sometimes I have to judge, like, because some of her videos I won't like because I feel weird liking them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like I don't support you. It's like I don't know if this is you being healthy or in a
Exactly.
good place. I don't want to. And then I see people I know that liked it or left a comment, and I'm like, I'm judging you a little now.
Yeah. Because I think we scroll. We don't even think of the implications of what we're looking at. We're just like, oh, we were just like, oh, Britney's dancing.
Right.
Like, because now the rapper Plies.
Someone sent it to me. I know.
It's just like, you're just like, but you're not thinking. And I don't.
But is he
judge
liking
anyone.
it? But is he? I know he's like. There's a video of him watching Britney.
Yeah,
and he's like laughing hysterically.
He's like, I think he enjoys it.
I think
he's
like,
entertained by it.
I think he's. I mean, she looks. I mean,
she does. She's in really great shape.
She's in great shape.
Yeah,
she knows how to work the pole.
Yeah,
I mean, she really does. Like she's like really like looks great. Doesn't look like a ridiculous person doing it. So maybe he's supporting her.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think
But it is true. We're so desensitized. I mean, I would personally like to deactivate my Instagram for a while.
Or do you think
I'm thinking of doing it? Deactivating.
Like I could never do it.
I want to deactivate it so no one can leave a fucking comment. My pictures will be gone. Maybe I'll put it back up at some point. But I'm just like so over people having so much access to
Yeah,
leave any
it's
kind of
true.
fucking bullshit they want.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And of course it's nice when people are like, love the podcast or whatever. But like there's and it's obviously gotten better because I'm like not on TV
Mhm.
anymore. But it just brings out the worst in people. I
does.
mean, like the things I've read about myself, I'm like, no one should be like subjected to this. It's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I thankfully have never dealt with that. But even on
But
a
even
small
but
level,
right,
like
and you
people will
having to deal with
DM
these
me.
lists or something, and
Yeah,
people like criticizing it,
like,
right?
why was Ice Spice on it and not Joey Badass? And I'm like, I don't know you, sir. So please do not DM me about this. Like,
It's
but
wild.
even it's just like people. I like to imagine that I'm a kind person, and
You
I don't
are.
want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I don't want to be rude. Like I talk a lot of shit on my IG stories, but at the end of the day, I never want to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But like, leave me alone. I don't know you.
Right.
And like the thing, people just want so much access, and it's just like it gets overwhelming at times. And I'm like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I barely have time for the close people that are in my life. Why
Let
do you
alone
think I have time
strangers.
for you?
Exactly.
But,
And look,
yeah.
and I also think there's a difference between like people having a conversation about,
Yes.
you know, a celebrity or a song
Yes, and
or
I love interacting with.
or a reality
Yes,
show or whatever.
yes.
But then just to like go online and like troll people and like say terrible things and you're like hiding behind
Yeah.
like you're anonymous. Like that's not like it's just I'm not really with all that.
Yeah.
But now let's talk shit about J-Lo.
Oh,
Because we're having a conversation about
I
it.
haven't done that in a while. You know, I just
But do you think that she's kind of? Do you think there's there's jealousy with her and Beyonce or what? Because
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, who isn't jealous of Beyonce?
Absolutely.
Right?
And you know what, to be honest, I think the main reason why I would post things about her, she's been kind of quiet lately.
She has been quiet lately. But there
saw
was a time where she wasn't.
Yes. And I saw a video of her, though. She was getting upset at the paparazzi for following her.
Oh,
and I said, something must be amiss.
Yeah, because normally she's like
she's fine with it. She loves it.
Yeah.
But the main reason, look, I respect what she's built. I respect the career she's built, etc. Because I know it wasn't easy. Or excuse me, it wasn't hard. Or it wasn't easy. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't hard at all. We're all doing it.
But I think that like I always say, I just think she's a cabaret act. And she is a decent performer.
Correct.
And she's very attractive and she's very appealing to many people. But I always want to level set. Like she's not a brilliant artist or performer, no matter how much she tries to align herself. She's a
brilliant hustler.
Exactly. She's a great hustler.
She fucking works.
She
fucking works hard.
Exactly. But and then I also think she's an actress, but she tries to, and she's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But she like depicts relatability and like I'm Jenny from the block. But I think she's phony.
What about her documentary? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. But even that,
I did.
That was Homecoming. The promo for it was Beyonce's Homecoming Light. I don't care what anybody says. And yeah, she just, to me, she doesn't have an original idea in her head.
Okay.
And I think everything that she does is, yeah.
Well, it was really interesting because in the documentary,
yeah, tell me
which
about
I watched, and
it
was entertaining, and but she sees herself as the underdog.
Oh,
and I'm like,
God.
What the fuck? This is crazy. How are you the underdog? But it just psychologically says a lot about how she's still feeling like she's not enough, and she's not enough, and that is like, oh, like anyone, and it's like any woman, like no matter, like you could be J-Lo. Like you could be J-Lo and have the world worshiping you and have fucking be worth $1 billion, however much, and like be able to have access to whatever you want and still not feel like enough.
That is the root of everything. I feel like that's the root of everything. And even when I was like, there was a video once of her with Alex Rodriguez, and
I never liked that. I never liked him.
It was weird from the jump. But they were in the car driving and like the window is down and she's like playing music and taping it. And she's like, window down. I'm in the car with my partner I love. But she's like basically vying for his attention. She's like, babe, babe.
Wow.
And it's just like in that moment, and I feel like I've sensed this for a while. She's talked about it. She's talked about having like a low self-esteem at one point.
Interesting.
Um
I love hearing about that.
Yeah.
Because I like hearing about low self. I have low. I mean, I have low. I think
You
I
have
have
low self-esteem?
I think so.
You think so?
I do. Yeah, I really think I do.
I don't sense that.
I know, but that's the weird thing, and it's like I wish people. Well, it's also taboo to admit it because it's like supposed to be like you're supposed to be like I'm confident.
Yes.
I'm an independent woman, and
Yeah.
I have like high self esteem. But it's like okay, some days I have high self esteem, but like a lot of
But
days
you elevate this shit, Leah.
Oh my god, bitch! I elevate this shit, but it's like, but that's a that's a persona. You know what I mean? Like that's a persona. Like there's also we have different like we're like we have different facets of like who we are, right?
For sure.
So there's like a part of me that has low self esteem. There's part of me that's like, bitch, I elevate this shit. You know what I mean? It's like I'm all those things, right?
For sure.
And and so I think I wish that people would be more like honest about like having low self-esteem sometimes because it's fucking like relatable and I feel like it's more common than we think.
For sure.
Right? And like it's something that it's like really hard. People don't want to admit it because also, especially as women, we're supposed to be and like just like Nicki Minaj was saying, like, I have to be sexy, I have to be nice, I have to do this, I have to and I'm like writing my memoir right now. I'm writing my second book and I was thinking about how like I have to have like a low BMI, but my fucking ass still needs to be big or tight somehow. And I have to be like a mother and a selfless mother, but also I need to be like independent, like business owner and like successful in that way. It's like, holy shit, I'm tired too. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bring me back to like the 1960s. I can just be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
But honestly, when I was younger, I wanted to be an actual housewife.
Well, yeah, you said you wanted to be married to the mob.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted, and I really thought I was going to be married to the Rob.
Yes.
And that he was going to be taking care of me.
Right.
I thought I was like dating some big shot. I mean, he was kind of a big shot back then, by the way. But, I told Kier the other day, I'm like, Dad, like, was, he's a lot older than me. And he used to buy me like Chloe pants. And like, I was like a little sugar baby back then, really. And it was great. And then I was like, now I'm paying for everything 5 years later, no shade, Rob. Love you.
Rob's an icon.
Rob is
icon.
Rob is like legend status forever. But like, I definitely didn't want to be like working so hard.
Yeah.
Just didn't. I mean, and here I am.
Yeah.
What about you? You wanted to be a journalist.
I did. I've always just felt like I've had to have my own.
Well, of course. And I tell my daughter this, because she's like, I spoil her, and she's got like, she's got quite a taste level. And I'm like, she's like, how am I going to make money? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You better think about it.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll just marry a rich guy. I'm like, that's a really hard job.
It's also not, what's the word?
Fulfilling?
It's not a surefire bet.
It's not. Hello? You might have to sign a prenup.
Yeah.
He might leave you with nothing. He might go broke.
We've seen it happen over and over again.
And then also that is a job in and of itself. Yeah. And if it was an easy job, I probably would have done it already. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and also she's just talking shit. I don't think she's really like going to do that. God bless. I hope she does fall in love and find a wonderful man for herself that's totally loaded and makes her life easy, whatever, and is great to her and all those things. But, you wanted to be a journalist.
Yes, I always wanted to be a journalist. But I will say, like, I am ready for a really great partner who just lightens the load for me. Not even financially, but just like
emotionally, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, support.
Like, lightens the load. And are
you dating
that
anyone?
would be nice. I am not dating. I'm bad at dating. I need to get better at it.
What do you mean you're bad at it? What does that mean?
I don't invest any time and energy into it.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
But you must meet guys a lot. You're in a man's
I do
world,
meet a lot of guys. I will say people keep it very professional with me. For the most part.
That's too bad.
I know.
You need to maybe make the first.
It's like, I'm just not a shoot the shot type of girl. I also, what I don't do, which I don't ever, I'm like in and out. So I
Mm.
don't meander and drink
Mm.
when people's inhibitions get lower
Yeah.
and it gives them the chance to say something.
Right. When they have liquid courage.
Exactly. And I hate to be presumptuous, like all these men want to speak to me, but like, yeah, I don't get it. I need to put myself in those situations more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't. I'm going to start. I actually was just talking about this with a friend. I'm definitely going to start to make. I was in a long relationship and then
When?
like on and off for years.
Oh, I
And
think I feel like I knew
yeah,
this.
I haven't been in that relationship in like 2 years. We broke
Okay.
up.
Well, I mean, listen, it takes a
It does take
while to
time.
if you're on and off with someone for a very long time,
Yeah.
it takes a couple years to really flush them out of your
Settle,
system,
yeah.
right?
But they are flushed out of my system.
They're flushed out completely.
Flushed completely. So I am.
Did you use a crystal egg to?
No. I should have. I should have. They're just.
That's the next step.
Should I put that on? Yeah, I should do that. But yeah, they're flushed out of my system.
Okay,
I'm
good.
ready for newness.
Would you go on a dating app? Maybe.
I'm on the dating apps, but the guys
Okay.
are so fickle. It just like
Yeah.
the conversations rarely lead to a date. It's just like guys playing.
Are you on Raya?
I am on Raya. They're the worst on there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not allowed on it, so I'm
Oh,
86.
shit. I remember now.
No, yeah, you know why. You know why.
I know
Exactly.
why. But you're not missing a lot. Like,
well, I've broken up with my boyfriend 3 times. We're
okay, so
back.
I want to know about this boyfriend.
Now we're back again.
Because you were single for a while, right?
Yeah. I didn't have sex for like almost 2 years.
Yeah, I remember. And then, so now you have a boyfriend. How'd you meet him?
Through friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems like a really great way to meet people, but
It
yeah.
is.
Through
But
friends.
like it just
Why do you keep breaking up with him?
because, and I've realized this. At first I was like, is this, and I talked about it with my therapist today. I'm like, is this, I was like, I want to be in something healthy. Is this toxic? You know, and she's like, there's a fine line between healthy and toxic because like when you're in a healthy relationship, you have to be vulnerable. You have to feel these feelings. You have to have these scary conversations.
I was telling a friend this, yes.
And like and then I freak the fuck out. And I'm like, I can't talk to you anymore. And I'm finding everything. I'm trying to find things wrong that he did. Like I'm looking, like I don't trust. I'm like, something is like, you know, this has been the most challenging relationship because I think like I'm fully like in it, you know, and I'm feeling everything. And like, I'm just, I don't know. I've been very vulnerable in a way that I haven't been before or in a really long time. And it's making me like, I was really insecure at first. Like I was like insecure, not trusting, just all the things, you know? And it's like fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was having a friend, because I have a friend who's like in the early stages of talking with somebody and they're like, I don't like feeling this way. And I'm like, this is a part of it.
It is.
It's like, this is a part of it. It's like you're sharing your insecurities with someone, you're being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a part of it. I saw you talking about And Just Like That with your last guest.
Yes, Ryan.
But there was a great moment on the last episode where Carrie was like, but what if I hurt you again? And Aiden was like, you're going to hurt me again. We're going to hurt each other again.
Right.
Like, and that's just what relationships are. Now, obviously,
of course, there's levels.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
there's
you don't
levels
want someone
to everything.
cheating and beating you or whatever, being really emotionally abusive. You know what I mean? But people are going to disappoint you.
Yes.
Right? Like
consistently.
Yeah, you can't like control. And the thing is, I also have realized that I've had a lot of behaviors I'm not proud of, like trying to be controlling with him, like trying to kind of be like, your behavior needs to be like this, you know, or whatever. And it's like, I don't want someone telling me how to fucking act or like trying to control me. And I'm like, wait, how do I expect all this from him? But I'm not even doing that on my own, like myself, you know? And he does like lighten the load. Yeah. Not financially, but but it's
just nice to have a teammate.
No, it is like just mentally and emotionally and like someone I can just like tell all the shit to that's like going on. And like, you know, it's really nice. And that's honestly, it's so much more important for me to have someone that can lighten the load in that way than financially. Yeah. And it's like, also, how could he really, even if he was like a millionaire, billionaire, like what would he be doing 4 or 5 months in? Like it's not, what's he really going to be lightening the load for me financially? Probably not. So I would way rather be with someone who, and we have a real connection, you know, so.
That's really what it is for me. Like connection. Like, and I think I'm pretty, I'm I'm not a social butterfly. I'm an introvert. So like I get exhausted by
Oh my God.
I have a social like my battery is I only have but so much capacity
Yep.
for it. But
I
like
feel you.
connection is kind of like what I seek.
Yeah.
Like just connecting and just connecting.
And good sex.
Yeah, that too.
Of course.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
we
Of
need
course. I
that.
mean, that's the whole point.
That's
Why are you going to be in a
God.
relationship?
I mean,
That's not the whole point.
No, it is.
But,
no, I'm kidding. But I'm like, I don't drink. I don't do drugs anymore. Like, I need like some crazy good sex. Like, I need some fucking sessions, And like, we better be doing it. Well, first of all, we broke up. We didn't talk for like 2 weeks. I was sick. Like, I didn't eat. I lost like 5 pounds. I was like feeling like such shit. We made up, and then the first time we saw each other, we had sex literally for 2.5 hours straight. I'm not kidding.
Do you break up just to do that?
No. Okay, I was thinking about that too. Like, we're going on our 3rd first date again. This is so romantic. But no, because honestly, when we had like a stretch of like not breaking up and like not fighting, it was still great. And it was still but that like
the reunion is all. I mean, the person I was with on and off.
Oh yeah, you did an on and off thing.
There's like something that happens with the reunion that is like really exhilarating. And people get addicted to it.
I know. I really hope that's not happening because I don't.
It's probably not.
I hope not.
I feel like you probably get scared and run away, and then
I feel like, but why would you keep going on and off? Why would you go off?
Because I'm dumb. No.
No, you're so not.
I feel like when you love somebody, for one, we young, young, and also just not understanding that even if you love someone and have amazing chemistry with them, it's not the right match all the time.
Right.
Like, so I feel like we were always trying to fit things together that didn't make sense together.
Right.
But we just loved each other so much that we were always trying to make it work.
That must have been really hard to finally like fully end, because it's hard. Like loving someone and saying goodbye still, that's like pretty painful.
Yeah, it needed to happen though.
You wrote it till the wheels came off.
It needed to happen. Like yeah, I think we were both like really dedicated to it, but we were exhausted.
Do you have any contact with him?
No, not at all. I wish him well though. I hope he's doing well. I have no ill will towards him. But yes, definitely like.
Will you show me a picture of him after the podcast? I'm dying to see.
I don't even know if I have one, to be honest. I'll try. I'll look. I mean, it feels like, to be honest, because the 2 years, it feels like a whole lifetime ago. But I'll show you a picture. But yeah, I wish him well. I wish him the best.
That's a good place to be.
For sure.
Yeah.
I
hate all my exes.
Oh, you do?
I've been feeling a little better about them lately because I've been writing and I've been just, I'm in therapy twice a week and whatever. I'm like, all the hate I have towards these men, it's like, it's only hurting me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's really what it comes down to.
It really, yeah. And also, I was not a walk in the park, okay, as my mother likes to say. It's like, I wasn't like, I was not. I played a role.
Yes,
I played a part. We all do.
We all play a role. We all play a role. Yeah. So, wish him well. But yes, I'm ready for newness. Ready to. Well,
let's
more
hope
effort.
that this manifests for you.
I'm open to inquiries.
We're
just
okay.
Act like you have some sense.
At
please.
Aria Hughes, she's
like
on
you have
Instagram.
Some sense.
If anyone has an amazing brother or friend, dad.
Oh my God.
Wait, but isn't it crazy how I posted a clip today of my interview with Ryan and we were talking about Sex and the City. People are so intense about Sex and the City, and just like that, I should call it.
Yes.
Because they're like just so up in arms and I'm just like, I'm watching it. I'm entertained. People are like acting like it needs to be the like reality. This show is never reality, right? Carrie Bradshaw could never afford Manolo Blahniks and fucking Dior saddlebags and writing a fucking column for the New York Post. Okay, we all know this.
Yeah.
It's not reality. It's like based in reality, but it's not fully reality. And it's like entertainment. And I get the annoying, some parts of this show are really cringy, but also maybe they just grew into cringy older women.
That's a good way to put it.
That's how I feel.
But aren't you annoyed? Okay, as like a Pat Fields stan, aren't you annoyed with the costume and wardrobe and styling?
Yeah, Pat isn't doing
gone.
it. Yeah, Pat's not doing it.
And I feel like it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is
who you grew into.
Exactly.
I know.
I'm like, why is she? What is going on?
Yeah. No, totally.
It's just like I
I
get
don't-
really frustrated.
Yeah, well,
about
I mean, I just am like, yeah, and I understand like they're so rich and they're so whatever, but that's what everyone wants to fucking see anyway, you know? Like, I don't know. Like Charlotte is
she's
wearing
it's just it feels too costumey.
she's wearing like Oscar de la Renta gowns all the time. Like, think about I do the math and I'm like, you wouldn't be able to afford that.
yeah.
Because your husband's a lawyer. I'm sorry, he's maxed out at like how much is the richest lawyer making? You're not wearing Oscar unless you're doing shady shit.
Yes. But I don't even care about that. They can wear designer all day, but can it please feel rooted to who the character was on Sex and the City? Can it please feel elevated? Can it please feel cool? Can it please feel not like...
But they're not cool.
But Carrie's not cool?
I personally never thought Carrie was cool, and I knew she married a finance guy and wanted to live on the Upper East Side in a classic 6 or classic 5 or whatever. Like, she's not that cool. Like, Carrie was not that cool. And I'm sorry, but Aiden, I'm just like, ugh, like them back together. I'm just like, can she meet a new guy? Can she meet a new guy? First of all, we know she never would have married Big because Big is the guy that you never marry because he left her at the fucking altar. It's like, how do you go back to him? But it's just a show. So we need to just enjoy it. And I have to say that I love Che.
Okay.
I love Che Diaz. Everyone is like obsessed with hating them. Why do I love them?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have to make sure I say them.
Yes.
Because I think that they're an interesting character and I'm kind of invested in their storyline.
Okay.
I think listen, and is there like a lot of like wokeness and like this and that? Like, yes, that was like a complaint too, but it's like, that's because they're like liberal, like rich women living in New York City.
Yes.
And that is a real thing.
That's true. That's true.
Yes. Like,
no, that's true. I would be fine if I never saw Che again. So, but
I mean, Che is the most interesting thing about Miranda now. People are very invested in it. It's like we can't help it. Are you watching any other good shows? Even though we don't like And Just Like That, but
not really.
Oh, I have one.
What?
Lioness.
Okay, do I need to watch that?
Watch fucking Lioness.
What is it?
It's on Paramount.
Okay.
Fucking Nicole Kidman. Zoe Saldana. Is that how you say her last name? Some other bad bitches. I don't know their name. And it's like CIA, Marines, Army, Afghanistan, fucking terrorists, this, that. Blah. It's fucking so good. It's incredible. That's like my new Yellow Jackets.
You know, Nicole Kidman is such a good actress.
She's incredible. Her face doesn't even move, and she's still a great actress.
What was the series? The HBO series?
9 Perfect Strangers or 9 Strange? Oh, The Undoing.
Yeah. No.
About when she's the Russian.
No.
Oh.
The one where she was with Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, Big Little Lies.
Yes.
So good.
She killed that role.
Oh my God, she killed it.
God.
And he had that big dick.
Yeah.
Like, was it a prosthetic? Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh yeah, he's
like
a great actor.
Their crazy like sex that was like abusive but hot, and you're like, what's happening? Like, is this? But he beats her up, but then like they have amazing crazy sex, and it's like it was interesting.
She's amazing on that. They're all good on that.
Well, watch Lioness. You're gonna really love it. I feel like we're running out of time, but I don't know what time is it. Perfect. So we're right on time.
Thank you, Leah. I feel like I have 20 questions I could ask you. But
well, you can ask me any.
I'll always ask you.
You can just hit me.
But even about your line, like, are you done with fashion?
You know, I think for now I am.
Okay.
I have a lot of like creative projects that are like writing projects that I'm working on, and I think that like, you know, I'm still keeping the Mob website up and there's stuff you can buy on the website and it's still there and it's still going. But like in terms of like it's not my passion anymore. It's not my like, I'm reading a book and it's like about Dharma and like your vocation and your sacred duty and like feeling that purpose. And it's like, that isn't driving me anymore to like wake up in the morning. And it hasn't been for a really long time, but I'm so grateful. You know, I was talking to Rob, you'll understand because I'm selling some inventory and I'm doing this and that. And he goes, what happens when all the inventory's gone? I'm like, I don't know, Rob. You know, like probably nothing. Like he's like, that's it. I'm like, for now. And he's like, well, we had a good run, Leah. And I'm like, we did. He's like, our brand might not have come to fruition. I go, wait, what? Come to fruition? First of all, we like helped like pave the,
Mhm.
we
For
like are a
sure.
part of this culture. We're part of this
Yes.
history, and like Rob
Yeah.
way more than me. But like, I'm like, just because we didn't sell our brands for like $100 million, like to me, it doesn't mean anything. Like
Right.
I had amazing experiences. Like I got to work with like Nike. I got to work with Barbie. I mean, I did a Barbie t-shirt
Mhm.
back for their 50th anniversary.
Mm.
I got to like work at Colette and travel to Paris and travel to meet all these people I never would have met. And like, that's so much better to me than like selling the brand for, yeah, of course, $60 million would be really nice.
Mhm.
But like, I had a great 20 years of my life dedicated to that brand.
Yeah.
And it gave me so much that like, I'm sorry, like the money never could.
Yeah.
Experiences and friends and like
Mhm.
just to be part of something that was like impactful. I feel so honored and I feel so grateful that I got to do it. And maybe it's not over yet.
You're a pioneer, Leah.
Oh, thank
You are,
Aria.
and I think like you mean a lot to the streetwear industry.
Thank
even
you.
if
I feel like
you
it
might not feel
No,
like
I don't.
it.
Well, I also just don't know. Like, I don't know if the younger generation like know. I actually met a girl recently. She's 30. She's starting like a streetwear brand, and she like belongs to like a startup company
Mhm.
that helps streetwear people. And they said you need to meet Leah McSweeney, and I was like
Yeah.
flattered that they like knew who I was and told her to meet me. And I'm trying to talk to younger women and like kind
Mhm.
of like be helpful to them in whatever
Mhm.
way I can. Even though the landscape is so different than when I started, what I did wouldn't even work now. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's social media, there's this, that, like
Mhm.
Facebook ads and all this stuff that like wasn't there when I
Yeah.
was starting the brand. So yeah, I'm done with fashion for now. I'm really focused on writing. There's a play that I want to do.
How
There's a
exciting.
scripted series, a book. So I'm really,
Okay.
I want to tell my stories and tell stories in a different way. Because with Mob, I was always telling a story.
Yes.
I was telling a story like with the campaigns, and with the campaigns
Yes.
were very thought out, and I was like so like a perfectionist and like so meticulous about it, and I want to do it now with like writing, I think. Yeah.
And you told a story that so many people gravitated towards and like saw themselves in
Yeah.
when the industry was like bleak,
Right.
overseeing yourself. And so there's no reason why that can't translate into, and you're also a really good writer.
Thank
so there's
you.
no reason why that can't translate into other things.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting. I'm happy for you.
But you listen, when you wrote that story for Complex.
Oh yes.
When I
that
first
was, we were in the throes of the pandemic.
Yeah, but the illustrations for that too. I mean, that
Yes.
was like,
Weren't they great?
oh, they were amazing.
Yeah.
We're gonna put it, maybe the links in the for Apple Podcasts. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the link to that because that was just like, I was so happy. That was like the best write up. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Of
honestly.
course. Yeah, I've always been a Leah fan.
I've been an Aria
I just
fan,
like
so
people who are themselves.
I try.
Unapologetic, work hard, honest.
Thank you.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you
I
for
was happy
coming
to do
on. I
it.
hope you come visit again.
I would love to. I can talk to you all
You need
day.
your own talk show, really. I mean, seriously, you know what I could really see you on? When like the show with Joan Rivers where she used to go out with everyone. Oh my God, you would be dragging these bitches for filth with these outfits. Yes, you and Joan Rivers, you guys would have killed it.
I miss
like,
Joan Rivers so much.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. She was like, but can you please start getting into that where you're your own, repping your own thing? I mean,
It's gonna
I could
happen
really
at some point.
It will.
but
Okay, good. I'm
it's
glad
gonna
you're
happen
open
at
to
some
it. I'm
point,
glad
just-
you're open to
just
it.
because it feels like, because it's so, I became a journalist because I like being behind the scenes. I know it will happen at some point.
But look, you're so comfortable talking and
well, because I'm just
yeah.
trying to treat it like a conversation. But it'll happen at some point, just not now. But we'll see what happens.
It will. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Follow the Leah McSweeney Show on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and email the Leah McSweeney Show at gmail.com if you have any comments, questions, or critiques, I guess, even though I probably won't respond to that. Okay. Thanks. Great. Thank you.
Thank
Oh my God, that was so
you.
good.